Good day everyone, and welcome back to the X Explorer for another video. Today it's a very special one to me. I'm Yankee Oscar 6 Delta X-ray Echo, and in today's video I'm going to try to receive the SAQ transmission on VLF 17.2 kilohertz. And I posted a short yesterday on YouTube and also a reel on Instagram explaining that I'm going to try to use the sferics receiver which I built some while back in order to amplify the signal. And I decided, as if you watch my latest video on the sferics receiver, the version with only 3 components that I built, so I was explaining that it's a lot easier to record with that one because I only have to worry about one battery, and I'm going to save the battery from this one, so I'll be able to listen when I go outside straight into my headphones. And for today's recording I'm going to try to use my sferics receiver, the one that runs without any battery. And what I did, as I was explaining in the yesterday's short video, I connected my 20 meters band vertical antenna into the antenna input of the little receiver, and then the audio signal from the receiver goes into the Tascam recorder, and the Tascam audio recorder has a line output, and that the signal from there goes into the PC sound card, and basically I'm amplifying the signal that I'm receiving from the antenna. Of course, before the signal comes straight into the receiver, it goes through an RF choke that I'm usually using for the antenna, so I don't have common mode current when I'm transmitting into the antenna. But I also have a ground connection over there, so right now the receiver is also connected to ground through the coax cable, and I hope this will work. I don't know yet, it's just an experiment. I'm trying to see if I can receive the SAQ transmission using this method and using this simple 3 components receiver together with the Tascam recorder, of course. And if I wouldn't have the Tascam audio recorder, probably I would try to use some simple audio amplifier, maybe like something with LM386, and amplify the signal coming from the receiver. So I don't know if this is going to work or not. For this I'm using on the computer, basically I'm using the SAQ Panoramic VLF receiver, and I hope it's going to work. I do receive some other signals. I also receive a bunch of interferences. I can even hear my neighbors because there's a house in construction right next to me, and as soon as they start the drilling machine, I can hear it in my computer, so it's a little bit strange. Anyway, if this method doesn't work, I will, because SAQ today we have 2 separate transmission. One, it will start in about 20 minutes time here local time in Romania, and the other one will be a little bit later in the afternoon. So if this method doesn't work and I cannot hear anything, then the second for the second transmission I'm going to try something else. I'm going to take the signal coming from the bias T, basically from the MiniWhip antenna, and connect that one straight into the sound card of the PC, and I'm going to try to receive the signal this way using again the SAQ Panoramic VLF receiver to basically listen to the signals. Now you all know me, I love old school analog stuff. I love receivers with knobs that I can turn them. Not so much into this software kind of thing, and I'm not so much into anything that has firmware and so on, all this digital technology. So I would prefer a proper receiver for this, just to put some headphones on and listen to the signal directly and probably record it as well. but it is what it is. My VLF receiver is not yet done. I have one work in progress, but for now I'm just going to improvise and experiment and see whatever I can do with what I have available at this point. And I don't know if you can hear them, but I can. I hear the neighbors drilling holes like crazy. So anyhow, I'm going to stop here, and I'll be right back. It's close to the time when they're going to start the transmission, so I'll be right back at the time when the transmission starts, and we'll see if I'm able to hear something using this method. If not, we'll probably prepare the MiniWhip and wait for the second round, the second transmission. So fingers crossed that it's going to work. I'm really excited because this is the first time for me when I'm actually receiving the SAQ transmission. Last year I missed. There was a transmission, I believe, also in July, and also the regular one for Christmas, and I missed all of them because I was hoping to finish my VLF receiver back then, and I didn't even start working on it, so I was late. And also I didn't thought about using this method, so I hope it works. Anyway, I'm really excited, and I can't wait to see if this is going to work. Would be nice to be able to receive the whole thing with a simple receiver with only 3 components. Okay, so I'm really excited. The signal is weak using this method, but it does work. Now the only problem is that I'm receiving a lot of hum from the power grid close by, and also because the house is really close to the antenna, but I can hear it. I can't believe it. Okay, so we're about 1 minute to the transmission of the signal. It should start soon, and I'm really excited. It actually works. I could pick up the transmitted test signal, and now I'm waiting excited for the actual message. I'm going to have to filter out the audio because I have a lot of hum from the power grid, but let's see. Couple of seconds away. I still can't believe that this 3 component sferics receiver can do can do this thing. So it started. Very nice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you listen on the transmission, and I'm going to take this one outside on the headphones and see if I can actually pick up the signal on here without using the software. I was curious to see if it might work that way as well, but no, of course it doesn't work. But I could hear the bees flying close to the antenna. Anyway, I'm really excited that I can actually receive the signal. I'm just going to record the entire transmission. Earlier I was also watching the live stream from the SAQ Grimeton Association, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would recommend you to go subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff, just because every time they have a big event, they also have live transmissions, so you can also watch it. I'm recording sound separately on the phone right now, so I turn off the internet, and I cannot watch the live stream at the same time, but I'll watch it later afterwards. It's fantastic. I still can't believe that all this is done with technology that it's 100 years old. A bit older than 100 years actually. Imagine that today we can do the same thing, that you can replace that entire transmitter in probably one enclosure that transmits probably with about the same amount of power, if we don't count the amplifier, which would be external and probably would be a lot bigger, but still. From the live stream, I think I understood that right now they're transmitting with about 80 kilowatts of power into the antennas, and the antennas, I believe they're about 2 kilometers or 2 kilometers and a half, something like that in length. Beautiful. And that's it, the transmission stopped. Beautiful. I'm going to stop here as well, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and right now we are using a different setup. The test transmission already started, and we're getting ready for the main transmission, the second one and the last one for today, and almost for this year, because the next one will be in December for Christmas. So right now I installed the MiniWhip antenna outside. It's only 3 meters high, and I did not grounded the antenna. I'm still using the same ground, though the one that I have here on the RF choke that I usually use on the line. Okay, so the test transmission stopped, and right now the main message, it's about to start. And it starts. Not yet. Couple of seconds away. So yeah, the MiniWhip antenna seems to do just as great as the sferics receiver, the first recording that I had. The only difference is that with the MiniWhip antenna I don't get so many interferences caused by the electrical grid, the power lines basically. So it's good to know. But important is that the MiniWhip does work well on VLF as well. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock, and now the message starts. Now obviously the signal is weak, but that's just because my MiniWhip is not very high. But I like it. So just a quick word about the setup. The MiniWhip is outside on 3 meters high. The coax cable comes inside to the bias T, and from the bias T I have a stereo cable going into my sound card of the computer, and then again I'm using the SAQ Panoramic VLF receiver to decode the messages, basically to listen to the audio. Online on internet I've noticed a couple of comments here and there that you're supposed to connect your center wire, so on the output of your bias T, technically you're supposed to have a coaxial cable, right? So you have ground and the center cable, the one that goes through the center of the coaxial cable. Well, when you connect the stereo plug to your sound card, you're going to connect the ground wire to your ground, and on the internet people were saying that you're supposed to only connect the left channel from the sound card. I did that and it didn't work properly, so what I did, I actually soldered together the left and right channel to the signal channel basically and it works fine right now. I'm actually recording the message separately, so right now I'm talking over just because I know I can listen to it after that. propagation has a factor as well that the signal is a little bit weaker. Very nice, I can't believe it. So it worked with both methods, but the sferics receiver impressed me. The signal level with the sferics receiver was a little bit stronger, but that's probably because I was running the audio output of the receiver through the Tascam audio recorder, and the output level of that one I could raise the volume quite a bit, but it also raised the level of the RF of the interferences from the power grid. Lovely. You do realize that I'm like a little kid receiving some secret message from Santa right now. I think I'm going to leave the MiniWhip connected tonight and do a couple of more experiments with VLF, since I already put the antenna up. And that's it. Message is over. Now I'm going to go a little bit higher in frequency because today when I was testing to see how the signal sounds on the SDR from Holland, I noticed that the signal that is a little bit higher, and I always hear it, this one, apparently this one is Russian Navy, and then over here a little bit higher it's some Indian Navy. These are all digital signals. Whoa, And here I have some very strong signal. It's some sort of interference, or I don't know what it is, but it's really strong, and I receive it with constantly with the sferics receiver. Anyway, it's going to end up being a long video, so I'm going to stop here. So yeah, I'm happy, I'm excited. I managed to receive the SAQ transmitter twice today with two strange methods. Well, this one is kind of like the usual one, because I realized that most people use this software this way, with a MiniWhip antenna or some sort of preamplifier from the antenna and then coming into the sound card, and also with a simple sferics receiver made with only 3 components, not counting an audio amplifier that you could probably use instead of a sound recorder. But it worked, and I'm excited. And what can I say? Thank you so much for watching. This was first for me. I'm kind of happy, and actually I'm happy because I get to enjoy the hobby and enjoy whatever I built so far, like this simple sferics receiver and MiniWhip antenna, because I don't know if you noticed, I don't get to post these kind of videos very often because I don't have the time to actually enjoy whatever I'm building. I'm always busy, and I think it's time to have some fun with the radio as well, not just build stuff. So I hope you don't mind that I might post these kind of videos now and then, and not just building continuously, because you know, at some point, if you keep building but you don't get to enjoy whatever you're building, the fun disappears, and then you don't get any more satisfaction. So anyway, I'm glad I made this video for today. I'm glad I received the SAQ. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, 73 from Yankee Oscar 6 Delta X-Ray Echo.